Now let's talk about jobless claims. They leapt to more than not to leapt to 965,000, excuse me, I should say. And that is compared to the 789,000 that economists had been expecting, spelling bad news for the labor market. It's showing more signs that it is struggling. We're joined now by Byron Slosar, CEO and founder of HIVE Diversity. Byron, so you help companies essentially hire folks, hire employees. I'm wondering if you're finding that recruitment has been slowing down, if what you're seeing on the ground, so to speak, is the same as what we're seeing reflected in some of these numbers.
Sure. Thanks for having me. Hive Diversity is a virtual recruiting experience that we've gamified for employers and also for recent graduates and entry-level talent. We're focused on singularly enabling and empowering, the next generation of talent with the tools to seek careers and also to be their authentic selves in the process, being people, not just candidates. And as we look at, meaningful engagement with employers, that's, I think, what we all want right now. We are building a massive community of students, recent graduates, we call them the next generation of talent, so that whenever market is ready, right? So certain industries right now are hiring, others will a year from now. Our focus on first-year students all the way through seniors and recent grads will accommodate for whatever that need is, and specifically around a healthy and ever-evolving range of needs and priorities around representation. We launched in October 2020 with a massive community of students who are ready to engage whenever companies are ready to engage with them.
Really a hell of a time to start launching a platform that works inside the labor market. You were just mentioning how some sectors, some companies are absolutely hiring. And we do know that jobs are being created to some level. But at scale, as you're talking to some of these companies, when do you think that if you are a student or someone who is looking for a job, that really that uptick really might start happening again when we're going to see more and more companies really looking for workers?
Well, when you look at next generation talent and a student who might be a first or a second year student right now, as we watch landscape, we are all cautiously optimistic that while the jobs might look differently, they will be there. Many will be more remote. We're learning to run in a virtual society. Our company was built, we have 10 employees across 6 different states and 4 different time zones. We're all learning to accommodate very quickly in a world that is moving very quickly. And so we're just singularly focused on making sure that our students who represent, a myriad of diverse backgrounds and experiences, we know that will always be a need and an interest around employment. And so whether it's Accenture with 505,000 employees worldwide, who is actively recruiting our students, looking at an event that we have coming up next month where all of our finance partners, Serengeti Asset Management, Wells Fargo, PJ Solomon, Alliance Bernstein, Star Capital Group, coming together in one event to make it easier for students to understand what careers in finance look like for when they're ready. Looking at, several universities don't have a finance degree. We all know that careers in finance are available to everyone if you know that early enough. And so looking at pipelining for when things are a little bit more consistent so that more students and specifically diverse backgrounds and experiences are available and ready to engage.
So speaking about that piece, because, and I know that you've mentioned it, but just as a reminder that Hive works to help companies hire those diverse candidates, and that's a very broad term. It does not necessarily mean black or brown.
Right.
But I am curious to know how those hiring efforts have been, especially after we saw protests throughout the summer, and a lot of companies come out and say, oh, we actually need to do a much better job of hiring candidates from many different communities, some of which have been marginalized.
Sure. And when you look at our student community, all of our students, 90% of our students share with employers pieces of their diverse backgrounds on their resumes and profiles. And of course, that is around race and ethnicity, gender, sexual orientation. It's also, and what's very interesting, it's what empowers this generation of talent. It's first generation college students, it's allies and advocates. There is always going to be this ever evolving interest in diversity. We are singularly purposed and positioned to make sure that the student and recent graduate community is moving with whatever it might be prioritized in industry and in current hiring patterns.
All right, Byron Slosar, CEO and founder of HIVE Diversity. Very interesting indeed. I'll be interested to see how you guys do throughout 2021 once we see that labor market start to pick up. Thanks for joining us today.
Appreciate it. Talk to you soon.